Some days I'm like, oh my God, I'm 34, I'm single, I don't have a family, blah, blah, blah. Every time a man disappoints me, I do some sort of physical challenge to get my power back. This message is for the hot male celebrities out there. Check your message requests. So I'm 33, but I started traveling the world on my own solo when I was 25. I'm late to the game on Love is Blind, but I just saw a comment that said it's the beginning of the Keep Republican Men Single revolution. These men just come out here with like the dumbest things I've ever heard. I mean, they've covered we're old, they've covered the cats, like.
By the way, guys, this is how she looks in real life without any makeup on.
I just got back from dinner with my girlfriends. We're all like late 30s women living in San Diego, like very successful, jobs on our own. Like most of us have master's degrees and we're all single.
Yes, ma'am, because men don't care about your degrees or your jobs.
And a big part of our conversation tonight was like, what does that mean? Like, what does the future hold? And I think that
Cats, lots of cats.
I mean, we've tried, we've all dated, and it just doesn't seem like there's men who are there to date right now. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's some sort of like millennial crisis. Like, I really don't know what the issue is, but it's just like we're all financially independent and we're looking for something beyond that. Like, yeah, you can bring money, like, yeah, but do you have emotional intelligence? And that's like what a huge part of our conversation was tonight, is that our standards have just gotten so high. And if there are guys who don't meet that, like, I think that we've gotten to the conclusion that we're fine with that and we're fine with being on our own.
They're all talking about emotional intelligence. So let me show you a study from the American Psychological Association. The importance of physical attraction and ambition intelligence to mate choices of women and their parents. And across conditions, both daughters and parents rated the ambitious and intelligent man as more desirable dating partner than the more attractive man. So they value men that are ambitious and intelligent. Exactly like women saying that they don't care about men's money or their attractiveness, they just want emotionally intelligent men. Okay, now let's see here. However, when asked to choose the best mate for daughters, both daughters and their parents choose the more attractive man as the best long-term dating partner for daughters, regardless of his ascribed traits. So never believe what women say. They don't know what they actually want.
I recently posted about this program I'm doing where I'm freezing my eggs.
Probably the biggest wake-up call that I ever had was when someone told me that you can tell how much you love yourself by the partner you choose.
True.
Since we being messy, the biggest fight my ex and I ever had was because I wouldn't accept a character reference from a married woman that he's Snapchatting. He lost it.
Women don't hate getting older because they're afraid of losing their beauty. They hate getting older because they wasted their beauty on your disgusting son.
Okay, ma'am, and who forced you to waste your beauty on that man? Nobody forced you. You chose him. So stop complaining.
Men that complain about the women that say they hate men don't realise that those women are going to be the best girlfriends in the world. Men hating girlfriends are the best because they barely tolerate you. Do you think they'll ever give another man the time of day? If she's with you, that's how you know you're the best of the best. You'd never have to worry about cheating because why would she willingly talk to another man? I'm telling you, bag yourself a man-hating girlfriend.
Okay, I have a question for single men in their 30s who have their life together and just haven't found the one yet for some reason. So if I was a single lady in my 30s and I wanted to meet you, where would be the best place to go?
Not on TikTok, ma'am.
Just asking for a friend.
Right, where are we finding older men in real life, please? Someone explain to me, where are we finding them? Because I've deleted all dating apps, and where do we find them? I can't go through another talking stage. I physically can't. I will cave my head in with a brick if I have to go through another talking stage. So where are we finding them in real life? Where do all the hot guys go? Specifically the tatted emo ones.
Would you rather date a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with a good personality?
6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The good personality,
All right.
absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, the study I have shown you, and this is a very recent study from 2023. Women will say they want certain things, but what they actually go for are two different things, guys.
Yeah?
Yeah. Same.
Yes. A 6 with a good personality.
I agree. 6 with a good personality.
Of course.
No, of course. Like, good personality.
Yeah?
That's why they always choose the bad boy. Of course, because of his personality, of course.
Yeah, same. The 6.
A lot of girls think they're doing self-development and self-reflection, but it's actually accidentally like self-obsession because they're thinking, oh, you know, I'm analyzing my attachment style and I'm thinking about my trauma and I'm like doing the work, but there's not much actual self-development going on.
Work being done.
Yeah, it can kind of be a trap where you think I'm working on myself as a person. And the same with the self-optimization stuff. Like, I think you can get so obsessed with stuff like maybe the ice baths and the breath work that you're not thinking about trying to be a better person.
Double standards that we don't really think about. Men catcalling women is seen as disrespectful. Women catcalling men is seen as a joke. Men are expected to put the toilet seat down, but women are never expected to put it up. Stay-at-home moms are seen as nurturing, whereas stay-at-home dads can be seen as lazy or unmotivated. Some men are glorified for sleeping around, but if a woman does the same thing, she's shamed. Dad bod is okay to say, but the second someone says mom bod, not okay. Another guy said that high preference for women is a really big standard, whereas men can't have a weight preference.
Elon Musk put his penis in Amber Heard. He is one of the smartest men who ever lived, and he still did that. And Bill Belichick let a 24-year-old run his life. There's no men that are impervious. We are all subject to this feminine power, especially men who are in any kind of sexual deficit. They're just going to succumb to any of this. If you guys want to be a good wingman, look out for your friends when they start doing stupid stuff like this.
Yeah, guys, you think I'm just critical on videos, but I'm the same in real life. I'm exactly the same. If I see you talking to a woman that is disrespecting you or is not worth your time, I will tell you. Stop being a simp.
What do you mean you're broke? Oh, you're broke because you let your girl spend all your money? Is that what's going on? If that isn't even your girl? Like, what is happening right now? We hear this all the time. These guys are sitting there just completely being manipulated by the women that are in their lives, and they're totally out of touch with it, and you have to explain it to them.
At 30, for instance, I was the only friend in my friend group who wasn't like engaged or married. But at 40, half of those people are now divorced. So that has taught me that this idea of being ahead or behind is really bullshit. It's not true. Everyone truly is on their own path. I know that sounds cliche, but sometimes cliches have some truth to them. And the story keeps going on. So like if the story ended at 30, it would feel like my life was incomplete and there were many things that I didn't yet do or have accomplished, but the story just keeps going on and on and on. So comparing yourself to others, too long didn't read, probably not a great idea.
Feminism pushed this idea of like girls and boys are just as strong as each other. And then that led to people thinking girls don't need extra protection, which killed chivalry, but also killed fathers actually protecting girls. Because the problem is not like women are weak, it's that girls are vulnerable. But now we think, oh, we should all step back, let girls do what they want.
A lot of baby went out with bathwater. A lot of chivalry went out with patriarchy.
Yeah, we killed good authority. We just killed all authority. And so now you have young women like demanding that their universities protect them and demanding that the government step in, and like staring at someone becomes harassment on the tube. We degraded the authority of men they trust, good men, and hopefully like their fathers and brothers. We just said, oh, all kind of protection is patronizing and we don't need it. But then
toxic and misogynist.
Then you leave girls completely vulnerable and looking coddled and loved, but actually completely unprotected.
Nothing will give you the ick more than a guy's TikToks coming up on your For You page. So
Ma'am, it's the same thing with women. Just think about talking to a woman and then all of a sudden seeing her videos on TikTok. Block, instant block.
There's an experiment called the Lines Experiment with Dr. Solomon Ash. You're a volunteered experiment. There's like 15 people in the room. Everybody else but you is in on the experiment. They show you these lines, 3 lines on one page, and they show one page that has 1 line on it. So which line on this page is equal to this line over here? Obviously, on the target line, you're going to pick C. Right. Right? I mean, that's glaringly obvious. Dr. Ash is doing this conformity experiment. These other people in the room all go before you, and everybody in the room, one at a time, says A, 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 A. And it gets around to the person, and this was almost 100%. 100% of people in the experiment would say A.
This is the herd mentality. This is why I tell you, don't go with the narrative blindly. Do some research. This is exactly what women on the left do. They say the same things. Why? Because it's socially acceptable. But they don't actually believe those things. Most of them don't.
The truth is right in front of their face, and they would go with the group because the group did it. The group is telling them what to choose. If you think of the way that social media manipulates our brain, it falsifies tribal agreement, and it makes us say A.
Right.
So we're willing to ignore everything that we see because we're seeing a tribe say that something else is happening.
Okay.
So it will override our brain. Our brains are not capable of overcoming this technology. We don't have a firewall. And technology has outpaced our brain's ability to adapt to it. If I can get you to think that most of your tribal members agree to X, then most people, like 90% of people, will say, okay, X is true.
So being in this field, what is one thing you find people put an emphasis on that's important to find in a partner that really isn't that important?
Oh my gosh, where do I begin? So with women, height. That is a big...
But a lot of women will say that height doesn't matter. Yes, it does. That's why I tell you guys, don't trust what women say. They don't actually know what they want. Just check on her ex and the ex before that and the last guy that she slept with. And you will see what she's actually attractive to and what she actually wants.
Conversation
I don't have that
I
problem.
have.
Yeah.
A lot. Yes.
I find that fascinating. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Because
Maybe
you
because I'm
can't
short.
relate to it.
But I still
Yeah.
feel like there's girls my height that are still like they have to be 6 foot or higher.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, why?
Yeah.
I get you're tall. Okay, but you see it in most women across the board.
Yeah. Most women are across the board. And it doesn't necessarily matter how tall she is. There is a height requirement. And so I always tell women, okay, so United States, men in general in the United States, only 16% of them are 6 feet.
No, that's 14%.
That's it.
14% or 14.5, something like that.
Okay, so then we take down, so 16% of the male population is 6 feet. Then we take it to the next, which is how many of them are single? Okay, lowers the percentage. Okay, how
many of them are married?
How many of them are single and are heterosexual? Okay, great. So now we're taking it to the next level. Okay, how many of them live within your vicinity or that you're able? So then we take it down to a different percentage. Then they're like, well, he has to be this and this and this and this and this. Okay, then we're even decreasing it even more so.
Yeah.
Then he has to also be into you on top of all of that.
Good luck. Yeah.
So it's just 1% of the entire male population in the USA. But if you tell them this, they will say, no, you're not correct. Of course not.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
I turned 36 last week.
Okay.
And I have decided to give myself something I'm calling the gift of 40. Women say that when they turn 40, there is a switch that is flipped within them, and basically they just have no more fucks to give.
Of course, ma'am. Because they realize it's hopeless and they will probably be alone for the rest of their life. So, of course, they stop caring. Of course, they just get cats.
Thank you. Come again. Give you an example. A girl will open up an Instagram, have pictures of herself all over the internet being a thought. She'll go pursue a career. She'll do a bunch of twerking stuff on the internet. She'll wear weird weaves. She'll do all this kind of crazy stuff, right? And what'll happen is she'll do all this not knowing that, like, men, though they might look at you from an attraction standpoint, they're not actually wanting to take you seriously. And this is what I mean when I say women lack empathy. They kind of know what men like, but they don't know what men are actually attracted to and want to commit to. And that's where the disconnect happens. So what ends up happening is they get with a guy, they know how to kind of get the guy just by existing, but it's very difficult for them to keep the guy. And this comes from this lack of training where women are prioritizing career and not necessarily not just attracting the guy, but keeping him long term. And this is where so many women fail, because any girl can get a guy. That's not the hard part.
True.
The hard part is, can you get a guy that you actually like and get him to commit to you? And this is where women fail because they lack empathy. And what I mean by empathy is they don't understand men. We have to understand women to attract them. Women don't have to understand us to attract us. Because all y'all got to do is be available, look kind of hot, and we'll come talk to you. Like, and we have to do all the work in the beginning. Well, but where women fail is they don't do the work after the guy puts in the work to attract her to retain that guy. That's where a lot of women make the mistake and aren't really able to keep the things. And this is why I'm saying, like, the education system and us women prioritizing their success has overrode their ability to retain men, if that makes sense.
Women think the relationship is all about them. They do. Everything is centered around what she wants. And if that's fine, in her mind, everything is cool. And she does not care what the man is going through. She don't care what his challenges are or any of those things. So what ends up happening, the male believes that he keeps the marriage together because if he goes to cheat or whatever, like those 41 shades, for different reasons, they left you with the marriage because the marriage was all you wanted. You didn't actually want the man. You wanted the marriage. The fairy tale. You wanted the fairy tale. So the man feels that he gave you what you wanted. You wanted the marriage. You wanted the money. You wanted the kids. You wanted all of this crap. And never consider what he's mentally going through. Never considers what he invests into the relationship. A lot of men deal with this. And so what they end up doing is getting things outside of the relationship. And what? The woman is still mad.
Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.